Okay, I just wanted to include a little commercial here. This material is part of a counseling course that we run. And it's under the area of care, because you heard the term devotee care, right? It's kind of a buzzword now in this country. Yeah, devotee care. It's quite a common thing. There's committee for devotee care, there are magazines, there's a devotee care day during the Gorpunim festival. So devotee care is very much the perfect scenario. And whenever this aspect of devotee care it's broken or disturbed, then we have devotee conflict. That's the opposite. Okay? So I think we have to first establish a devotee conflict ministry, and then we can establish devotee care properly. Alright, let's see what else we have. Okay, these are some definitions and some characters. Somebody would like to read this? Who's keen to do some reading for the group?
Opportunity for growth and enhancement in the relationship.
Anybody else? Just shout it out loud. Okay, opportunity for growth and enhancement in the relationship. Somebody did say that, right? The young lady who was here, she pointed out, conflict sometimes equates to an opportunity. And Jackson, you said depends. Right? Depends. So I'm assuming that it goes along the lines of, I can't provide an opportunity for improvement. Right? Okay. What's the next one?
Prompts the tendency to be avoided and creates distance.
Okay, this is more or less what some of you were saying in regards of the comfort zone. We don't have the tools. We don't like it. Right? Majority of you, except one or two, said that you don't like conflict. We don't like conflict. Alright? You don't have to agree with this 100%, please. If you have a disagreement, please voice it. It's okay. We are here. This is a conflict resolution seminar, so we don't start throwing things at each other. It's good that there is some conflict amongst ourselves. It's good. Okay, relationship depend on how conflict is responding to. Relationship. Somebody said in the beginning when I asked about conflict that had to do something with relationships. Right? Your relationships depend on the optimization of resolving conflict. You have a friend, you have differences, you have a partner, you have workmates, colleagues, and you have conflict. And that relationship, whether it's working or loving, emotional or spiritual, depends on how you manage conflict within that relationship. Okay, are we agreeing? It's okay if we disagree, even slightly or largely? No problem. So relationship is how we manage conflict, how we resolve conflict, not by the absence of it. I worked many years as a counselor, and when a couple will come, and when they say, we never fight, I don't know if you ever come across those couples, especially young couples or new couples. Right? I know that that's not true. I know that that's not so, there's not such thing. Yeah? Those who are married or they can attest to it.
Or at least there will be a problem.
Oh, there will be. It's about to come. It's like the calm before the storm. All right. So these are some definitions. It's good to have some definitions in our system. You can add some things. I invite you to reflect on this. What is your definition of conflict? Different people say different things. So I invite you to create your own definition of what is conflict for you. Okay? Now, if we will have a week, morning and afternoon, we can do so many other things. We can write some of definitions, and at the end of the course, we can compare those definitions with the new definitions. We wish to keep it very simple. Right, so, this is a basic conflict resolution model. But I don't want to get into this just yet, because I can sense that it's becoming too theoretical by now. And I know that after a few minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes, your brain will stop functioning. And then you will just sit, relax, start daydreaming with your eyes open, and then you will let me do the work, but that's not the idea. We get back to that one, don't worry. And also some prints out are on the way. This beautiful rain. We're going to do something different. We're going to try to change gears now. The idea is that some people say, oh, conflict is a good opportunity for spiritual advancement, depends, etc., etc. I have a crucial question. What makes conflict really bad? And I can assume that that's the reason why we don't like it. Just think of those conflicts in your life, hopefully a recent one, that make conflict really bad.
I think one of the things is that none of the sides want to listen and hear.
Okay, none of the sides want to listen. Want to, yeah, okay.
Engaging emotions in the conflict. Engaging emotions in the conflict.
Engaging emotions in the It's like Sachinanda Maharaj says, you know everything. You know more than me. Yeah, good emotions, good point. Cool?
When the boundaries of decency are crossed, the respect,
The boundaries.
the
Okay.
voice, tone, physical.
Okay, alright. Okay, anything else, Mati?
Neither side steps back because they will be perceived as the weak ones, and
Right.
most times they will have to step back and do it again.
Okay, good.
When there's no solution.
When there is no solution. Okay, good. Alright. I'm just going to throw it out there. And this is something, one of my favorite tools that I found in my work. Shall we read something that Prabhupada said, just to purify the atmosphere, because we have, we will read the microphone. Anybody?
If you work conjointly, without quarreling amongst yourself, a tremendous service can be done towards the expansion of our mission. Please therefore try to execute this program peacefully for the sake of Lord Krishna, to whom you have all dedicated your life. Srila Prabhupada letter to Harivilas, September 29, 1968.
Okay, what do you take from this letter? What do you take from this letter?
We should not quarrel.
You should not quarrel.
We should dedicate our and we should dedicate our lives to Krishna.
Okay, sorry. Mati?
I kind of recall that when Prabhu said the point in the end of the letter, he said, like, you all dedicated your lives to Krishna, and when in some project or situation we might quarrel, and if you really can remember this one, that basically everyone has the same goal, and we just don't have the better way to go to that goal. So this kind of strong statement.
Yeah, it was interesting that Srila Prabhupada says, don't quarrel for Krishna's sake. Like, don't quarrel for God's sake. It's like the cry of the soul.
Kind of makes the point that we're all family.
We're a family.
We should
Yeah.
fight amongst each other.
Right, okay. Good.
But I would like to give another example. As you know, when Prabhupada was sick and he wanted to go around Govardhan on the car, and somebody wrote, yes, we should do it now, we should kill him, and I want to start with the conflict. And when his brother came and said, you see how they love me?
Yeah. How they love me, they're fighting. Okay. Alright. Let's get to the, when somebody does massage for you and then they touch a point where it hurts, right? And then that's there. That's, the marble point. That's the place. The main problem with conflict is this, the wave of emotion. Have anybody seen this before? So something like that? Cycle of emotion. Great tool. Amazing stuff that it's used in the anger management. The problem with conflict is when emotions get altered and then you get angry, and that's when the doors get closed, and like Sujanavi said, there's no solution. This is the crux of it. Right? Although it's very simplistic, and I'm assuming it was done maybe, I don't know, at least 20 years ago, or whatever it is, still it's very much used in trainings and in therapy for managing conflict. So let's go through. I have it in a photoscopic view, so I hope we'll be here on time. It's not working. All right. So what do we have here? Okay. First of all, anybody here knows how to swim? Good. Who is no offense, who's a beach bum? Loves the beach and loves the ocean and the waves. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, I'm not alone. All right. The idea of a wave. I mean, first of all, I am a beach bum. My Guru Maharaj said. I love waves. I love all that. I don't want to get into it. But the idea of a wave is that it brings energy. Somebody was saying energy, blockage, etc. So the energy comes, it hits some surface underneath, and then it pops up, and then explodes. Right? The more the energy, the bigger the wave, the harder the impact, can break bones, can kill people. Right? All right. Anybody remembers the tsunami? I know some of you are very young, but still, the tsunami. Yeah, 2004, I think it was. You know how many people got killed that time when the tsunami came? Anybody has an idea? 200 close, higher. 300,000+ of people. 300,000. One wave. I mean, well, there were a few waves, but let's say tsunamis. So what happened after that is that people around the world, all over, I went to South America and I found tsunami, signs. What to do, run to higher, go here, there, plans and stuff like that. What happened is that many countries around the world got together and then decided to have a precautionary plan. And what is that precautionary plan? That people, the governments will put sensors in different parts of the ocean around the world. So whenever they perceive that there's movement, that it's beyond the level that a normal coastline can take, they will send an alarm. All right? Because I love the ocean, I love the waves and things like that, I was very fascinated by all this when it happened. So I studied it, I was looking around and things like that. So this is exactly the same. This is like a tsunami of emotions, and particularly anger, when it overtakes our rational capacity. Right? There's a saying, when you become emotional, what's the next one? You become irrational. We say emotional, but it's out of hand. Right? It's not bad to be emotional, but the emotional connotation is that you become irrational. Okay, so what happened here? There are two drawings. The first one, and I'm trying to paraphrase this into devotee lingo. No jargon. I am a devotee. I read the Bhagavad Gita. And I'm feeling somewhat peaceful, at least in comparison to what I used to be. So you deny that I have anger. You deny that you have unreasonable desires or very different ways of trying to satisfy those needs. But if somebody, I don't know, in different countries, different sayings, but they press the wrong button. They press your buttons. They say, yeah, everybody understands that expression, right? Somebody steps on your toes, calls you names, does something, says something, and then you're triggered. Here, that's what we're looking at. Triggers. All of you, all of us, we have different triggers. Okay? So one of the techniques in conflict resolution, first of all, is to identify what or which are your triggers. Right? Let me explain this and then we go back and we do an exercise. So you deny, you don't know. You think, oh, I have a Zika, I have Kuntis, I have Tilak, I have, Saris, and I took initiation first, second, I went to Mayapur festival, I spent time in Vrindavan, I did parikrams, I went to Kirtan Melas, etc., etc., etc. I've been in this movement for 10 years, 20 years, whatever it is. So you think that this is not something that you do, that you get really, really angry and malicious about a particular situation. Then what happens is that somebody gets you really cross, as Madhuri was saying, sometimes Krishna sends those tests, right? And then you react. And then the whole thing starts. But then you suppress. You go to Mangalarti, and chant your rounds, and do austerities, is fasted on Ekadasi, and all that. You suppress. No. This is not me, this is my mind, this is, You suppress, you keep suppressing, and then one day you can't take it anymore. And then you explode, right? You see there? Explode like the wave. Or implode. Anyone familiar with the concept of implosion? Explosion is very easy. What is an explosion amongst devotees? You insult somebody. Sometimes devotees even punch each other up. I know. I'm a Latin, so I joined there. I don't know Russian. I guess that also has a rough side. Right? That's explosion. Now the common explosion that's nowadays it's quite, go to the internet, right? All over about ISKCON, Sannyasi, GBC, this, that, the explosion is all over. But there's another interesting one, the implosion. How does implosion look? Anyone?
You take it, the explosion, but inside, to be depression, stress.
Yes, that's a consequence. Yeah. You start sabotaging your spiritual life, your emotional life, your body. Sometimes, you torture yourself. Huh? So, conflict, dragged by anger, fueled by anger, creates destruction with others and with yourself. Right? And then you explode, you do something crazy. Right? Devotees, sometimes they get angry with the movement, with the GBC, with the temple president, with their fellow devotees, and then they go out and bloop, as we say, the Prabhupada said, bloop. And then what happens generally when someone bloops? Huh?
He's too embarrassed to come back.
He's embarrassed to come back, but what they do when they leave? Generally,
They become graspers again.
Then?
Prabhupada said when they're looking, they're going up and they're becoming wolf rascals than they were before they came.
Okay, worse, yeah. They go and break principles and fall down and do silly things like that. Not everyone, but generally that's what, that's the recollection that we can have about that. And then you feel very bad. Then you go down again. Right? And what happened here, you feel regretful. Somewhat you're sincere, so you remain in the association of devotees. You come back, many devotees leave and then they come back. You feel regretful, then you hear a class, or you read something, and Krishna is talking to you. But somehow you haven't addressed this. You keep denying. What are your triggers? What is your real way of trying to satisfy your desires in your selfish way? It's incomplete resolution. Then what happens? This could last months, weeks, years. Somebody said lifetimes. And then again you're pressed in the wrong way. And then again the process starts. And then you explode again. And then you implode again. I don't want to force any disclosure here. But sometimes we experience this, as Arjuna said, we are dragged by anger. Although we don't want. I don't know if you had any experiences like that you didn't want to do it, you didn't want to say it, but you did it anyway. Right? I don't know, in your life if you had any experiences like that. Okay, so that's the idea. Now, what's the alternative? The alternative is that you recognize, Mate.
Can I just ask clarifying question?
Yeah, sure.
If I understood the idea. So the idea is that we have some kind of trigger, which is the desire that we hide from ourselves. And whenever this desire is like touched by someone, then we start to get angry and it leads to the conflict. So this is the idea.
Yeah.
We have some kind of desire that we hide from ourselves, and when it's irritated, we start to confuse.
Whether it's desire or belief of how to satisfy that desire. Not necessarily the desire, but sometimes the way that we want to satisfy that desire. Right? And because of that, then anger is fueled, and then the conflict is increased, and then we have an explosion or